Hi, this is Belinda Calibriali, and this is Talking High Performance with Belle. So I'm making this podcast for people who want to live their best life, people who know that there's more in them, but they just don't know how to get it. So there's a gap, something's missing, I'm making it for them.
Welcome to another episode of Talking High Performance with Belle. And as you know, this is Reflection Month. And so I want to talk to you today about the year that was, but I want to talk specifically about connecting the dots that make up our lives. And I want to link that back to clarity and purpose, because if you have a life you love and you're clear on what you want and you're aligned to your purpose, it's much easier to get to where you want to go. But quite often we get lost and we lose that spark, which makes things harder. So the best way to get back on track is to reflect on decisions that we've made and to make changes from them moving forward. So when I talk about connecting the dots, I'm talking about the moments in our lives that lead us to create the life that we have at this moment. So what are the choices that we've made that have led to this particular point? And a point where we're either happy, we're frustrated, we're fulfilled, we're angry. And these points are either points that are working or points that need some work. And if you think about your life, it's made up of many dots, dots on your line, or it's made up of many moments. And I'll use these two words interchangeably today. And some dots you're happy with, things are going well. You may have put in the effort and you're reaping the rewards. Some dots fulfill you. You may not be happy, but you may be fulfilled. Some dots motivate you, some inspire you, and so on and so on. And all of these dots make up our lives. And other dots, so they're the dots that make us happy. Other dots are dark. You're not happy with things at the moment. Maybe relationships are ending or they're not going as well as what you'd like. Maybe you don't enjoy your job. Maybe you don't like where you live. Maybe you don't have enough money. And these dots are the dots on our line that tend to be darker. And then there are the ones that are in between where things are good, but they're not great. You might be cruising along and you may be bored. You have friends, but not really close ones. And the list for these dots goes on and on and on. And quite often when people come for coaching, they come because of the middle reason, like things are good, they're not great. They know that there's more in them. And all of these dots, they make up our life. And if you're really unclear on what you want from life, it's really hard to find meaning and find purpose with each of these dots. But when you know where you want to go and you've got clarity around that, then each step on the journey has a lot more meaning. And I want to break the meaning of those down and help you get meaning to those dots by talking about clarity and purpose today. And when we talk about high performance living, high performers are really clear on what they want from life. So they know what they want for themselves, how they want it to look. They know what they want in their relationships, and what they need to improve upon. They know skills they need to develop to get them to a certain point, and they also know how they can be of service to others, or they're clear on what they need to do to be of service to others. And having clarity around this really makes it easier to put more meaning onto all of the moments in your life. And so that's the first piece of the puzzle when we talk about connecting life, and life being a connection of dots. It's really just working out that clarity piece. The second part is the purpose piece. So this is the part that helps us create a life that's more meaningful. And purpose is something that transforms over time. So you may feel stuck right now, but you may need to feel stuck to get to that next level. And people quite often, including myself in the past, get so stuck in being stuck. So, it's the moment they feel frustrated, they don't know how to accelerate the momentum again, they lack the motivation, and they feel really frustrated and unhappy with how things are at the moment. But I want to talk to you about appreciating feeling stuck. So when I had postnatal after the birth of the twins, I was really frustrated at being so stuck because I was somebody who, loved momentum and was really driven, and I felt like I just couldn't get any traction. But when eventually, I started to feel better and I could reflect on that part of the journey, I needed to feel stuck. And feeling stuck actually led me to the life that I have now. So it led me to writing a book. It led me to being a better parent than what I would have. It led me to changing my career, changing life, knowing what my purpose is. And it was during that period of feeling stuck when I felt like I lacked purpose that really helped me to get clear. And it was those really dark dots, but connecting those that helped me move out on the other side. And sometimes, we always strive quite often to be the butterfly, but sometimes we need to go into our cocoon and we need to be the caterpillar. Because when we come out on the other side, wow, it can be really, really amazing. And the dots that once stopped our progress, they're the ones that then help us to accelerate our momentum. So sometimes it's really important just to go within, to sit still, and to imagine what the next step is. And that's really, really powerful. So when we talk about then connecting the dots in life and the dots, which are the colors, it's not only about having bright dots in your life. It's about how do you make the dots more vibrant, lighter and brighter because you're clearer and because you have purpose. And as I said, it doesn't mean that you don't have those dark periods. Sometimes things happen. People around you get sick, they pass away. Sometimes there's periods that are really hard on yourself. But if you can emerge from that and really take the time to reflect on those periods and build the courage in those moments, that's where you really create a life moving forward that really can light you up, that really allows you to find your purpose, to realign and to reevaluate. Because although you may be hurting now, it's not the road that you need to face ahead, and it's not the road of your future. It's just a certain period of time, and it's a patch of time. And quite often when you're in it, it feels really hard and really long. But it's necessary to get you to come out on the other side and to create more meaning in your life. So, and it really helps to get you clear on what you want. So I want to talk about your dots in 2023. And I want to ask you a few questions around that today. So if you think about the year that was, I want you to think about, what did your dots look like? And were you aware of the moments of breakthrough, or were you just pushing through and pushing on, as we quite often do? So it could be that you finally left a relationship that you've been thinking about doing for years, and things can seem really, really tough. But wow, you left it. That's a major dot that's going to brighten up your future moving forward. It could be that you finally changed careers after lots of hesitation and doubt. You finally let go of that handrail. Wow, what do the dots look like now from that point onwards? It could be that you got some bad health results. And so that's causing you to really appreciate every single dot on your line from this point on more than ever. So I encourage you to think about your dots. What were they like in 2023? And what are some major ones that maybe you haven't had the chance to think through or think about? And I encourage you to think about that moving into 2024. The second question is, do you know where you were heading in 2023? So what was your purpose? And if you knew your purpose, did the dots and did the moments align with your purpose? Did you want to achieve something, but you didn't because you didn't think it through properly? Or other dots got in your way? Did you pay attention to the dots, and what were they telling you? Were there signs that could have changed the outcome that maybe you didn't listen to? So did you know where you were heading and what your purpose was, and did you follow through on that in 2023? And then lastly, if you were to be even clearer going into 2024, what would you need to do differently? So what is it that you would need to do differently in 2024 versus what you did in 2023? So would you show up the same? Would your interactions be the same? Would your skill set be the same? Would you serve in the same way? And if you answered no, I encourage you to ask yourself why and what you can do differently moving forward. And how would that help getting you clearer and more purposeful? So thanks for joining me today. I love talking about connecting the different dots in our stories, and it's really important in leading us to lives that are fulfilling and really, really purposeful. And it's the moments that often nearly break us that really create those breakthrough moments. So if you feel yourself struggling, I encourage you to have a look at my online course, Becoming You. Details are below. And I'll see you next week, where I'll be talking about daily reflection and getting the most out of your days leading into 2024. So until then, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle.